Okay, you're welcome to Makasutu. Makasutu is owned by two Englishmen. One is Lawrence William and James English. James is late, but Lawrence is currently in UK. And Makasutu, it is big as 1,700 hectares. They divided into three main camps. One is Baobab Cultural Center and base camp, and the third camp called Mandina River Lodge. Base camp is the place where you have a full viewing tower where you can climb up and see the aerial view. Because the place is too big, we cannot able to walk to everywhere. So you can have a up view, you can see the aerial view. Hello? And the third camp called Mandina River Lodge. Mandina is the place where you have the four flooded houses and 4 jungle room and 1 silted house. But that area is not part of the program. If you want to go there, you book it through Gambia Experience. And our daily program will be boat cruising. That's where we are right now. And nature walk. Boat cruising lasts maybe 20 to 25 minutes. It depends on the tidal system. When you are going with the tide, you have less time. But when you are against with the tide, you have more time in the water. Right now, we are going with the tide because the tide is going down. And the two activities program that we have in the creek here is fishing and oyster collection. Fishing done by the men, while the oyster collection done by the ladies.
So is it done by the local or by the tourists?
By the locals.
By the locals?
Yeah.
And by the way, what kind of fishes do you have in this water here?
Yeah, we have tilapias,
Okay.
barracudas, sandy nobs, red snapper, captain fish, bonga fish, and because when the tide is high, it brings along with many fishes. So it's very rich in fish when it's high tide.
Okay.
So, but the men, they do overnight fishing. They would wait until late evening. They would take their dockhand canoe boat with their net. They go for overnight fishing. And the oyster collection done by the ladies. Because the ladies we have here, they are very hard-working ladies. They are collecting oysters
from the mangrove?
From the mangroves, because the oyster click on the roots of the mangroves.
It does, okay.
Yeah, because yeah, because the tide is high right now.
It's high, so
it's high, yeah. Okay. So sometimes you can able to see one clinking. Yeah, but if you want to see more, that's it. When the tide is completely low, you can have access to view the oysters. Okay. And when the ladies they collect, when they are going for collect the oysters, they will wait until tide is completely low. That time they can have access to collect oysters. When
so how do they get to this point here, the ladies? Do they swim or do they have little canoes?
No, when the tide is low around this area, it will be completely bank.
Oh, okay.
Sand bank. Yeah, so you can see the mud. Yeah, you can now see the mud.
Okay.
When the tide is low, you can even play a football around this area. Yeah. Okay. So they can park their canoe here and walk near the mangroves to collect oysters.
Okay.
So when they collect it, that's their local factory over there. That's the white shell. Yeah. Yeah. That's their local factory. So when they are processing it, they either steam it or they will boil it. Okay. Because in the Gambia, we don't eat our oysters raw.
Okay.
Yeah. So after boiling it, they will separate the bigger ones and the smaller ones. Okay. The bigger one will be taken to the local market to sell it there to help their family back home, while the smaller one will be kept and dry through the rainy season. Okay. Because in the rainy season, no one is advisable to collect oysters.
Why is that?
Because when the sweet water mixed with the salt water, the oysters, they became sick.
What they do?
Yeah, because the water contamination of this salt will be reduced.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, because when the rainfall mixed with the salt, the oysters, they became sick.
So they could only harvest this oysters during the dry season?
During the dry season.
Only?
Only.
Okay.
Starting from March till May.
Okay.
So in June, we normally have our rainy season, forced rain.
Okay.
For the Gambians.
Okay.
And the cells of the oysters also is very, very useful.
Okay.
Yeah, they will divide it into two. One will dry for 6 months and one will be dry for 1 year. The one will be dry for 1 year. They will pound that one, mix it with chicken food. They will give it to chicken for feeding.
Ah.
Yeah, because it contains calcium. So it helps chicken back home during laying their egg so that their egg can be strong and healthy. So the one will be dry for 6 months. They will bone that one. When they bone it, it will turn to be a lime powder. That powder you can mix it with a soil. You can leave it to ferment for maybe 1 week or 2 weeks. When it gets ferment, you can mix it with water. You can plaster your mud house.
Or use it as a paint?
No, plaster in your house.
As a mold?
Yeah, because it's a black cement.
Okay.
Yeah, you can use it for plastering your mud houses. And
So
that
those are the cells over there?
that's are the cells of the oysters.
Okay.
And that descent powder, you can mix it with water. You can use it as oyster whitewash paints.
Okay.
Yeah, so in oysters, nothing is wasted.
Yeah.
Everything is useful.
Okay.
And this green vegetation you are seeing, these are the mangroves. We have the red mangroves, white mangroves, and the black mangroves. Yeah, but they are different. The white mangroves filter the salt through the stem. If you find any mangroves, the stem is cracking, know that it's a white mangroves. It filters the salt through the stem. And for the black mangroves, that one filter the salt through the leaf. But the white and the black mangroves, they grow like a normal tree. That's why you can always find them in a bank area. But in a creek area, you only have the red mangroves. Because the red mangroves bear the fruits, but the fruits are not eatable. The fruit will turn to be an area root.
Oh, the fruits are not eatable?
No, the fruit will turn to be an area root. That's why many will call it a walking tree. Okay. Some will call it upside down tree. Okay. Because you can see the nursery one. Yeah. It's coming up from the top. Yeah. It's coming down, the green one. Yeah. So all these ones, they want to be a fruit. Now they are turning to be an area root. So if not the intervention of the ladies who collect oysters, we will not have a channel like this. Oh, wow. Because every year it will work to each other.
Wow. Oh, it will gonna keep
coming. So you will not have a channel like this.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. And this creek called Mandina Bolong.
Why is it called Mandina Bolong?
Because in Mandinka language, Bolong is a creek or a tributary, and Mandina means I'm not belong to any religions, either in a Christian or in a Muslim. So that's why everybody is equal to this creek. Either you are a stranger or you are a resident,
everybody's welcome.
Everybody is welcome to this creek.
I like that.
So that's why they name here after Mandina Bolong. And here is the place where normally the children will walk to come around this area to train how to swim.
Oh, train how to swim?
Swim, yeah. In the Gambia, we don't have a swimming schools. Yeah. So the children, like normally, like during the weekend, they will come here to train. You see, one is sitting over there. So, and also when we circumcise our children, we keep them in a bush or in a jungle for a couple of 1 month without taking bath. So after that period, they bring them here to bath them, so that they are
like a traditional
cultural thing. Yeah, that's our first school to our children, to train them how to be in a society, how to be moral in a society. Yeah, so we call it a bush school. Yeah, and this Mandina Creek is one of the channels from the main river Gambia. You know, river Gambia is divided into two. We have the freshwater part and the saltwater part. The freshwater part, if you want to go there, you must travel 200 kilometers away from here, where you can find hippos. But here is a salty area. You cannot find any hippos around this area. If you find any hippos around this area, know that it's a missing one. Because the hippos,
crocodile?
Yeah, the crocodile, we have crocodile living in this creek here.
In this creek here?
Yeah, but they are vegetarian crocodile.
They are what?
They are vegetarian.
Vegetarian, that means they don't eat meat? Human?
No, they don't eat meat.
Okay.
Yeah, that's why people have access to swim here.
So they don't attack people?
No, they don't attack people. So when they hear noise, they just run away. Yeah. But during maybe when the place is cold, early in the morning, you may be lucky to find them.
Oh, on the bank?
On the bank for sunbath.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Maybe late evening too. Okay. They normally come out. But when the sun is hot, like this time, you cannot have access to see them. Yeah.
That's cool.
And the straighter branches of these mangroves, some of people who cannot afford to buy this red timber for roofing their houses,
Yeah.
they depend on this red mangroves to collect the straighter one. They will use it for roofing in their house.
Okay, use it as roof.
Roof, yeah, because it's 100% salty, and the termite cannot say hello to salt.
Wow.
Yeah, and you can use it for more than 10 years before changing it.
Wow.
Yeah, and the leaf of these red mangroves,
Yeah.
those days before we get our indigo blue from the west, our forefathers were using to use this red mangrove, the leaf of it, to get their indigo blue out of it for tie and dye batik fabrication.
Oh damn.
Yeah, because the leaf itself changed the color 7 times.
Really?
The active ones are the thicker green. When it turns to be a dye, it will turn to be like light yellow, then light yellow to thicker yellow. It will fall in the water. After 48 hours, it will turn to be an orange color, then orange to light brown, light brown to thicker brown, and finally the black one. That's the time it will sink in the mold.
Really?
Yeah. So when the tide is low, that's the time they will go out for collect the black ones when they need of it. So the mangroves is very, very useful. That's why we advise people to save the nature, because nature is blessed.
It is a blessing.
Yeah, you can have all these tree freely.
Yes.
And all this western medicine, they come from the bark of the trees, leaf of the trees, and the roots of the trees. It's just that the western, they just collect them and chemicalize it, process it. They will turn it to be pills. They will now send it back to us to use it. But they all come from Africa. Yeah, but we the African, we use our black medicine raw. No side effects, no chemical on it. Yeah. So yeah, that's why it's very important to save the nature for our young children generation to come.
That's beautiful, man.
Yeah.
That's beautiful. I like it. I like it.
Yeah.
This is beautiful, man.
So that's a little information about it.
Yeah.
So if you want to ask anything,
Yes.
we can share ideas.
I really like it.
Yeah.
So this Makasutu, how long has it been existed?
They started,
When was it created?
it was 1990, they buy this land, then 92, they start their businesses. Yeah, in 92. So here is the second camp called Base
What
Camp.
is that for?
Yeah,
What is that?
Base Camp.
Base camp?
Camp, yeah.
Base camp.
Base Camp, yeah. It's the place where these two English people, they first sleep their first night at this base camp.
Over there, right?
Yeah, because when they come to Africa,
Yeah.
they were searching a place to start with their business.
Yeah.
They search until 3 days left. They cannot find any place to settle down.
Yeah.
So this before their 3 days will be end, they come a village called Kembuje, and they meet a fisherman around that area. They tell their interest to the fisherman that we are searching for an area to start our business. The fisherman told them that, well, I see a place where if I take you guys there, you may like the place. So they tell the fisherman that, well, we hear a very good news from you. So we are not going anywhere. We are going to wait you till late evening when you are going for your daily fishing. We can join you and go to the place. So they wait the fisherman till late evening. They join with him with the boat. They came here. They tell their interest how we can get here. Well, the fisherman told them that here in the Gambia, lands owned by the individuals or in a family. So we have a man here who is using Makasutu as his home. When we reach the man, he can tell us who's on this land. So there is a man living with his family in the bush here before Makasutu will start with their business, because the man is a medicinal man. So he decided to come and settle down in this forest where he can have access any kind of tree he want to use it as a medicine. So he was here before we can see 80s. The man was here with his family. So they went to the man. The man told them that here in the Gambia, lands owned by individual or in a family. So here, the owner of these lands are the Sanekundankas. They live in Brikama. So it's very late. I cannot leave my family here till this is already late. So you have to sleep your night here, or you can go back to your hotel. Then the next day you can come here. We go to the family. They tell the man that we are not going anywhere. We hear the good news, so we are going to sleep our first night here. So the place they sleep was here. That's why they call it base camp.
Base camp.
Base camp, yeah. So we are ending our boat trip here. Up Amangwa. They're gonna force the junk. Okay.